Who would win? Years of cis-heteronormative conditioning that shapes and restricts identity and desire, or curious thoughts after seeing a baddie? I'm telling you right now who would win for me, and who I think should win. And I think you agree, because otherwise you would not be here. Because you can let, what you've been told all your life define who you are, or you can think for yourself and try to figure out what you actually are into, or who you are as a person, which I think is a healthy thing to do in general, so I'm very sure for myself who would win. Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing some me IRL GBT, which I really like this subreddit name. We all know me IRL, it's fun, it's relatable. Have we been doing queer memes a lot lately? Yes. Do I intend to stop? No. Absolutely not. So anyways, you know the deal. Before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll continue. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. Okay, just some Oompa Loompas carrying stuff around. Who are those awful creatures over there? Why, those are the transphobic gays. They say bigoted shit about trans people, then hide behind their own marginalization, like cowards, to shield themselves from due criticism. Well, tell them I hate them. Because that's just A, ridiculous, and secondly, not the smartest thing to do. Because being like, okay, no, I know you hate people who are different from you, and I know you hate everyone who you don't consider normal, and I know you don't consider gay people normal, but those people over there, they're worse. As if those same people won't then also turn around to hate on you and make your life worse. That's just, it seems weird. It seems really weird and not smart at all. Action Packer for the trans man who does extreme sports. Honestly, this just seems really funny. Like, if you have a company that sells packers, or like straps for packers or something, having like an action packer, like a combo where like the thing holds the packer in place really well, even if you move a lot, honestly seems like a smart idea. It just seems like a smart idea, really. But anyways, I'm not gonna lie, I do this a lot. When I see words out and about, you immediately make it about a joke about your identity, or, your interests or hobbies. Because let me tell you something, trans people, whenever they see like trucks out and about with their like brand logo being trans something, it doesn't stop being, I expected it to stop being like a little bit funny at some point, because that's obviously not what it means, but it still will always be funny to me apparently. And same with this. And also, if you're selling actual packers that are designed for sports and stuff, why not call them action packer? I still think that sounds funny and will help your sales. Kohl's. Shop by category. Pick up a shipping department. Gender. Okay, women's, men's, boys, girls, juniors, neutral, and cats. Does it have like pants with a hole for a tail in the back or something? Like, can you imagine how much of a pain it would be? Because you know how much of a pain it is to put on like ripped jeans that have holes in them. Because you're getting your toes and everything stuck in it. Do you know how hard it would be to put on pants if we actually had tails? That we also had to like fiddle through the pants? Like, imagine you had a hole for the tail in the back and then you just... No. That would be so annoying. And also, it's only 2 items, so I'm really, really mad you didn't go to the cat page and include a screenshot of that. Because, come on, hang on, actually, can we find this? Give me a second. Okay, either I was on the wrong website or they don't have it anymore. They have a home section on the page I found. Not a cat section. which is kind of disappointing, really, so I'm still mad you didn't include a screenshot. Buying boring but reasonable clothes that I'll wear. Or the most edgy teenage shit you've ever seen. Because why not? Come on. Because there's obviously a reason to have like reasonable clothes that you can just like wear to your boring adult job. Or when you go to the grocery store. But you could also be the coolest person in the grocery store. I don't have the energy for it, so if you want to, you definitely can. You know? Because I would randomly just go in sweatpants. You know? Like, I like going to the grocery store when I'm coming from the gym, because then I have an excuse to go in sweatpants. To be like, oh yeah, no, I was just working out, it's fine. Because growing up, I was always told I shouldn't, you know, go out in sweatpants. So I'm trying not to care. But anyways, getting clothes that feel really cool to you, like, why wouldn't you? Just why wouldn't you? Like, at the end of the day, who cares what other people think? You know, yes, people are probably gonna look at you weird, but chances are you're already getting weird looks. Maybe it's just me, people always look at me weird. Because they're very confused by me. And I get it. But it's still rude. And honestly, whatever outfit I would wear would not change it, probably. Hypersexual people making sex jokes to cope with the constant horniness. Asexual people making sex jokes to cope with living in a world that is completely alien to them. But why is it so common? And why will people always like lose their shit? Because they're used to like hypersexual people doing it. And then they get really weird about doing it if you're like making jokes like that. If you're asexual, because they're like, wait, but I thought you said you're asexual. I was like, yeah, what's your point? If you can't beat him, join him. Or something. Because does it make you understand how crazy people get about sex? And like how crazy they get around people they're sexually attracted to? No. I'm telling you right now, if you haven't figured this out, no, it will not help. Actually. But I can't say I didn't try. You know? But still. Listen, if that's how you want to cope, why not? And people should just like chill and not worry about other people's attractions so much, you know, because people are good at policing other people's attractions. And I wish they weren't good at it, you know. Okay, basic needs: fast internet, clacky keyboard. Psychological needs: cool knife, picture of frog. Self-fulfillment need: gay adult fun times. This just seems accurate. Does this count as meme if it's just accurate? But to be fair, I do hate clacky keyboards. I don't like the sound of it. I would rather not, really. But apart from that, fast internet, absolutely. Absolutely. Cool knives and pictures of frogs, yes. Why not? You know, if you have like one that's like really iridescent, kind of like a flip out node and iridescent, it's just pretty. Do you need it? No. Will your life continue as it was if you don't get the knife? Sure. But will it make you just a slightly bit happier? You know, especially if it's like rainbow iridescent, come on. Come on. Same with pictures of frogs. I don't know when we decided that frogs are just adorable, but they are. And at some point we all just had to realize that, okay? We just had to. I ruined this town. Gotham City will be twinkless. I've hoarded all the twinks by hypnotizing the twink delivery man. Okay, this just seems unnecessarily cruel, even for a villain. Okay, you could have stolen a lot of things. Or, you know, manipulated any kind of delivery person. But you chose the twink delivery person, and that just seems needlessly cruel. My desire to be more feminine and androgynous. My desire to look fucking cool and intimidating. Do both. Find a way. Get creative. Find a way to do both. You know, maybe like a really kind of goth or grunge aesthetic. You know, Like, you can get, like, platform boots or, like, a spiky jacket and just, like, wear a bra, maybe also with spikes or something underneath. You will look, like, feminine and androgynous, maybe, depending on the other features. But you'll still look, like, intimidating. And a lot of people, especially young queer people, will think you're cool. If you have other ideas, feel free, you know? I'm just saying, you can do both. Like, I understand the struggle. Because, once again, I do not have the energy to get dressed in elaborate outfits every day. But I still kind of want to. And I still just want to go to work in dresses in summer because dresses are really breezy and I overheat really easily and it would just be super practical and super cute. But so far I haven't, you know? But still, I feel like we can do both. I encountered this weird metaphor this morning, lesbian sheep. Puzzled, I got more details. So here's the deal. Sex researchers have discovered homosexual rams, but believe that there were no homosexual ewes. It turns out though that gay ewes are hobbled by the fact that the way that an ewe solicits sex is by standing still, thus a group of lesbian sheep are incapable of coupling up since they all go motionless when they're interested in one another. Okay, this is just a whole new level of useless lesbian. Like, we know useless lesbians who are obviously being flirted with. This woman may have, like, full-on made out with them and asked if they want to, like, go back to her place, and you still just think she's being friendly. Like, that's already, like, a useless lesbian stereotype, but this would be a whole new level of you both just sitting there like, is someone gonna make a move, but none of you do. And to be fair, I recognize that it can be scary and intimidating, but don't be a lesbian sheep. I know sheep are also kind of cute, you know, but don't be a lesbian sheep, you know. How y'all be looking versus how you think y'all look. Now, I think this was, like, made for trans women who like getting down on themselves, but to be fair, a lot of people do. I know the amount of hate trans people have for their own looks is somehow deeper than, like, just being insecure, but still. You know, beauty's always in the eye of the, like, beholder, or, like, you know what I'm saying. Beauty's very subjective. Maybe you're just not your own type. Or maybe you just spend so much time around your own face because, well, you see it every day, multiple times a day, that you just learn to be really critical of it. And it's really easy to be critical of your own face or your own body or anything because you spend a lot of time around it and there's no one really to stop you, because you need to stop yourself from being rude to yourself, because you would never be that rude to other people. You know you wouldn't. So maybe stop criticizing every little thing that no other person has ever noticed about you and be nicer to yourself. Okay, just walking around. Wait, yeah, I'm trans. Okay. Yep, still happily walking along. Wait, what if the attraction I felt was just gender envy? I still cannot tell you the difference. But then again, I'm very notoriously bad at telling romantic attraction. And understanding romantic attraction, apparently, because in high school I was hooking up with someone, like it was a friends with benefits type situation, and I kind of accused this person of being interested in me, because, well, we were friends, so we obviously liked each other, and they were attracted to me, because, well, we were hooking up. Because I understand romantic attraction. Apparently. Not. So, honestly, maybe it is just gender envy. Maybe you're just the mess who hasn't figured it out. And I'm not saying that in a mean or demeaning way, because why would I come for you if I was you? You know, my reaction when the small, skinny, transphobic guy tells the trans man who's built like Kratos that he's not a real man. To be fair, this will be my reaction to anyone telling a trans person, no, but you're not the gender you say you are, because what the fuck do you know about other people and what it's like in their head? Because there are a lot of ways to be a man, and a lot of ways to look like as a man. If you're small and skinny, guess what? If you identify as a man, then you're still a man. So we're not gonna stand here and shame the cis guys for their appearance. We're gonna shame them for being transphobic, because that's just ridiculous. Because once again, what do you know about other people? But we're still not gonna shame them for the way they look here, okay? Getting euphoria from normal things? No. Getting euphoria from my hair touching my back. I feel like this one will be specifically strong for trans women who had like very strict family growing up, who are always like, no, but you can't grow your hair out. You're a guy, you better start acting like one. You're gonna have short hair. And were never like allowed to have their hair long before, and now they're growing it out for the first time because, well, they finally can. You know, they moved out or they're in college or whatever. Their family is not around to stop them, so they finally can do what makes them comfortable, or try it to see if it's more comfortable for them to have long hair. And it's just like touching their back for the first time. And like every time it does, it just reminds you how far you've come. Because let me tell you something, every person with long hair will tell you that long hair in summer is just annoying, because then it's like sticking to your neck because it's like, because you're sweating. But still, I can understand getting gender euphoria from it, you know? Yeah, he's boycotting oxygen because it keeps trans people alive. I'm not saying they should. But sometimes with the absolute absurd shit they're saying, it doesn't seem too far off. You know? Yeah. It doesn't seem too far off, actually, from something these people would actually do. Water also helps trans people stay alive. You know? Maybe. Me, 4 months deep without my tea shop. My prescription expired and finances sucked. The world is a cruel and unjust place. There is no harmony in the universe. The only constant is suffering. Minutes later, oh my god, I got my tea again. That just seems fair. And also, what the hell is the American healthcare system? Once again, I've ranted about it before, and I don't even understand it. I'm not American. I'm glad I don't have to understand what the hell is going on. But what the hell? Because like, I had to worry about my prescription because I didn't have like a primary care doctor, and then getting my prescription was still kind of difficult. But I would have still gotten it because, well, I need the hormones. You know? I didn't have to worry that if I'm too broke, I'm not going to be able to afford it anymore, because I have to pay. I keep forgetting if it's 5 or 10 euros every 3 months when I pick it up for like the actual like receipt you take to the drug shop to get it. You know, I just said drug shop, not drugstore. Same thing basically, you know. A tale of one woman's shocking desire to literally just exist and live her life. The transgender, it's mostly don't get murdered. Yeah, I really wish the trans agenda wasn't this. I really wish it wasn't needing to worry about your safety when you go out. You know, or worrying about your safety when you out yourself to people. Worrying that someone's gonna yell slurs at you from across the street. Or anything like, I really wish it wasn't, hey, let's not get murdered today, as an agenda. I literally wish it was, hey, let's find moments of trans joy. Let's find moments of gender euphoria. Let's kick Dysphoria butt. I wish that was the agenda. And it still kind of is, but priority-wise, I still feel like it's not taking the rank it deserves, because we have shit to worry about that we really shouldn't have to worry about. Mom, whatever happened to that one guy friend of yours? I know this is for trans men, but I could see how it would work for a lesbian too. Because you're trying not to get outed, but your mom's like, but you seem so great together. Like, you were always like joking around, you know, like you seem really good together. Like, why isn't he here so often anymore? Parents can be pushy. Parents can really be pushy. I'm really glad my mom didn't really care. She was still pushy, but just because she wanted me to tell her if I was dating anyone because she's nosy, I didn't have to worry about her being weird about it because of the gender, at least. So, points for my mom. The anxiety was still obviously there because, well, you never really know. And if you can't like fully trust that the person is going to be accepting, there will always be some anxiety. But if you're sweating this much, you will out yourself, you know? Stupid young me. Wait, Asker is kinda hot. Wait a minute. Did I just say that? Yes, you didn't say it, but you thought it. So, interesting. Because honestly, I'm always very confused by the like characters or something people name as their sexual awakening, because once again, well, I don't understand romantic attraction, but I'm not saying I understand sexual attraction either, because it seems wild to me, the characters people name. This one by far does not seem like the worst one I've heard, though. Gay street now two-way. The street sign said bisexual rights. You can't argue with the street sign. It's literally telling you to stop because it's a two-way street now. Except bisexual people, y'all. Come on. Okay, why does every vulture look lesbian as hell? Because I'm honestly dead certain I saw this couple drinking Pabst at the potluck last week, and it's not just me, right? They seem like the stereotypical super femme versus like super black cat masked lesbian stereotype. Only in vulture. So, I see what you mean. I really do. And to be fair, they would probably look really cute together, right? Come on, look at them. Me trying to figure out if that gay joke was hilarious or homophobic. I feel like if you have to spend this much time trying to figure it out, it was probably leaning towards homophobic. Just saying. Like, if it was like actually completely unproblematic and just funny, you wouldn't need so much time to figure it out, I think. Birth. Gifted kid. Okay. Getting a little bit older, just some freaking dude unhappy about something, but he can't tell what. And then, wait, hot and intelligent NB with correct opinions about everything and frogs. All the way to death. Correct opinions about frogs. What is a correct opinion about frogs? That frogs are kind of adorable. That frogs are just polyamorous and pansexual because I'll just like hook up with any other frog. What's a correct opinion about frogs? But anyways, I'm sure this is accurate. And honestly, the first part, well, first two parts specifically, the whole gifted kid just seems fair. Then you get burned out or depressed because you can't figure out what is going on in your own brain, because people tell you one version of who they think you should be. But you know that doesn't really feel right, but you can't figure out why. And you can't figure out why you can't just ignore the thoughts and do the thing that seems normal to everyone. So the first two are very just popular for queer people. Again, kinda wish they weren't as much, you know? But anyways, trans femmes reading comments about how pretty they are, knowing full well they're gonna hate their own looks about 3 minutes later. I'm guilty of that. I feel like a lot of trans people are probably gonna be guilty of that. Because again, being insecure is one thing, but dysphoria is a whole other level of shit show that I wish we wouldn't have to deal with. But I don't know how many trans people are gonna agree. I think a lot when I say that I would rather deal with dysphoria than transphobic people. You know, because dysphoria sucks. It's really not great. But a lot of the dysphoria I had was also like social dysphoria of being misgendered, being like called various transphobic slurs or whatever by people. You know, so I would still rather deal with dysphoria. You know, God made students male and female. Antichrist adults made them LGBTQIA+. The Antichrist, how many, isn't there supposed to be one Antichrist? Where did all these Antichrist adults come from? Or are these just adults who worship the Antichrist? I'm gonna need you to be a little bit more specific. And also, why is it, this is one of these instances where people give us more credit and just make queer people sound more powerful somehow than they are, because literally queer people are just people. You know, are they more resilient because they had to deal with more shit than, once again, they should have had to deal with? Yeah, absolutely, but we're not really out here manipulating people and trying to make them into something they're not, because that's kind of like cishet parenting things to do, of being like, no, but you can't be gay, you'll don't worry, you'll find a wife. We're gonna put you through conversion therapy if we have to be who we think you should be. It seems like you're the one turning people into something they're not the queer people. But once again, you're just making us seem more powerful. Kinda wish you wouldn't, actually, in this way at least, but oh well. Use the blanket term non-binary, because it actually describes my identity. No. Flag color's the prettiest. To be fair, I have never liked yellow that much. I don't know why. Yellow and orange don't really vibe with those colors. I don't know, maybe it's just because everything is too bright for me constantly and those colors are just kind of bright. But I'm not the biggest fan of those colors. But the non-binary flag itself still looks pretty cool. So I get it, because personally I also just think the combination of genderqueer, like the genderqueer flag, doesn't look too great to me. I don't know why, I just don't like it a lot. Is that why I decided not to go with genderqueer? Maybe. But to be fair, I kind of don't have the energy to constantly worry about it, so I just kind of went with non-binary, because I was like, well, it seems accurate enough. You know, it gets the point across. You know, it's fine. But still kind of picking an identity because of flag color, or like picking a label, because you didn't really pick the identity, you just like picked a label that somewhat accurately describes who you are. And then if you decide for one and not the other because you prefer the flag colors, I'm not gonna come for it. Me, a trans woman. Man, my shoulders are so masculine. That's sexy. Did you just beat the dysphoria? Because it seems like you did, and I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of you, because I feel like even cis women get gender dysphoria about it, because people like shaming people in general, regardless of gender, for certain features. You know, how many times have you heard someone like comment that a woman's shoulders are too broad, or that they have man hands, or whatever, that, you know, they're not curvy enough, so they look really masculine. So, honestly, even cis women will get the occasional gender dysphoria. But then again, occasional. But still, you beat the dysphoria, and I'm proud of you, and I'm sure you do look very sexy with your shoulders. Okay, I've just found the best ally. Straight and cis people will say that they're allies, but you will never measure up to my dentist. Hey, is it okay if I can change my name on my info from my dead name to Sai? Random woman that I wasn't even talking to in the chair next to me. Honey, if that's the name you had at birth, your dead name is your only name. My dentist very slowly turning on her rolly chair towards the woman. Shush! Excuse me? Dentist closes privacy curtain while staring bullets at the lady. Me, pissing myself laughing. My dentist, while changing my name in my info, reminded that English is not her first language. She immigrated from Russia. There, Sai, you have pretty boy teeth. Smile and make all girls swoon. Me not having the heart to tell her I'm not trans mask but I'm agender and still pissing myself laughing. Thank you. This is just adorable. Also, I know I saved this post before. I'm not sure if I included it before. Maybe I included it in a video again. But still, I had to include it again in that case because it's just still adorable. Because we love supportive people. We love supportive parents. We love supportive doctors. We just love supportive people. And this, not just accepting for who you are, but also just telling other people to shut the hell up and stay out of business that doesn't involve them and doesn't concern them. We love that. I'm very here for it. And just immediately being like, no, you know what? I'm gonna be extra supportive. Yes. Please, more of this. Okay. Now that we've had some really wholesome, supportive, cute posts, I feel like I can end this video in peace. You know? So I hope you enjoyed these posts too. And I hope you're hydrated, because I have a feeling you got your drink and then forgot about it. But maybe that's just because that's what I managed to do all the time. But anyways, I hope you're hydrated. If not, maybe reheat that drink you had if it was warm and then drink it. But you know, if not, if you already said, then I'll just see you in a few days to remind you again.